Hello everyone. This is Disgruntled Elk back with another Hammer video, but we got some new toys this time. There's a lot to talk about, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. So, Phyrexia All Will Become One, B1, whatever, one, is out, and it's certainly shaking up the meta game a little bit. The toy everyone in Hammer is trying out right now is going to be Nahiri, the Unforgiving. She can either come in with 5 loyalty if you pay 4 mana for her, or 3 loyalty if you pay 3 mana for her and 2 life. Her +1 is it makes a target creature attack a player each combat, so you can make opponent either not attack Nahiri because it specifically says opponent, or you can make an opponent just like make some bad attacks. Like you can send a Ragavan or some big creature into a hammered creature. That's the least useful mode though, for sure. Her other +1 is discard a card, then draw a card. So one thing to note about this is that if you have no cards in hand, the discard a card is not a cost. So it's just discard a card, draw a card, but you have no cards in hand, so you're just drawing a free card each turn. Her 0 is really where the card is getting the most attention. And so the 0 is exile a creature or equipment card with mana value less than her loyalty from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it. That token gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step. So each turn she's in play, as long as she has basically 3 loyalty, which is what she comes in with if you pay her, play her for 3 mana and 2 life, you can exile a Pure Seal Paladin from your yard, a Core Outfitter, a Stoneforge Mystic, a Hammer if you already have an Equipper in play, a Giver if you just need to make something unblockable for a turn by having it come in immediately give protection from a specific color. She's been really flexible. So this is kind of where I started more or less with the Jeskai build, and I played through a few leagues, and Nahiri was definitely great and very medium at the same time. She can certainly be clunky, but when she's great, she's really, really good. So I decided to change things up a little bit. So we jumped into a different version of the deck, which we will jump to here in just a second. So we jumped to this, where we have a little bit more zeros. We just have the extra Memnite. We still have the 3 drum effects, but we moved the 2 Nahiris to the board, added another blacksmith skill. And what this let us do basically was we're a little bit leaner game 1. I mean, a lot leaner. You're replacing 2-3 drops with a 0 drop and a 1 drop trick. But by moving the blacksmith skill to main, you also get a little more space in the sideboard. Nahiri was really shining against any like red X deck. So yes, you can bolt Nahiri in response to 0 and kill her, and I don't get anything out of it. But oftentimes Hammer is making people use all their removal. So usually she's going to start getting value. You can also just tick her up. But she has been really good against decks like Scam. I haven't played against Murktide a lot with her, but she seems totally reasonable there, especially when people are just bringing in a pile of removal. She almost just beat Mill by herself because obviously Mill gives her a lot of food. It can be a little sketchy because Mill, I think, is just such a bad matchup, but it is a nice little trick. But the other thing she did is she let me play through a Chalice of the Void really cleanly. So if you have an Equipper in play or a Hammer in play and like a Paladin in the yard, you can just cast your hammers and things into the Chalice and then just rebuy them with Nahiri 0, which has been really, really good. It definitely let me beat Chalice in a couple matches that I would have just been stone dead to. So the other thing I noticed was stupid Mycosynth Gardens has made Amulet, I don't know if it's tier 0, but it got notably better at killing you on turn 3. And so that's like not great because sometimes, and this is still in flux, but a lot of them are trimming on Force of Vigors and they're playing more fair cards like Seal of Primordium, I think the Disenchant green seal, which admittedly, I'd rather play against Seal of Primordium than I would against Force of Vigor, so I don't hate it. But I want more disenchant effects because they are more reliant on actual Amulet rather than killing you with like a Dryad or something like that. So I like, Wear Tear is really good. Wear Tear is also nice because you can bring it in against like the blue-white X decks that are going to definitely have Leyline Binding, but you're concerned that they might also have Chalice of the Void. So being able to kill Chalice is really good. Obviously, the 2-for-1, like this card's absurd in the mirror match. And so I like all those pieces. And so, yeah, so I've played some more. Amulet's just like, with the extra speed and consistency they got from the Mycosynth Gardens, I think it's a little more problematic than I want to believe. And, you know, obviously things are still in flux. You know, people need to adjust to it and maybe press it down a little bit. But here's kind of where I am going to land right now. And this is what I'm going to play through. So, same mana base. We have 2 Hallowed Fountains. I went down to 1 Sacred Foundry because we don't need red quite as early. And what I did was I just added another fetch because right now I'm not worried about getting Boseiju locked out of the game. Nahiri helps with that effect as well. But the big thing is I just want to make sure that I have all my colors very cleanly. So we're up to 9 fetch lands, and this could totally be wrong, but it's just what I'm trying in the meantime. But the 9 fetches plus the 2 Hallowed Fountain means that we have 11 blue sources just off lands, not including the drums and the Paradise Mantle. And then we also still have what is that, 10? We still have 10 red sources because of all the fetch lands. And so the other thing you'll notice is, one, I trimmed 1 Spell Pierce. I think we can do that. I like Spell Pierce a lot. It obviously has matchups where it's really good, looking at you, creativity. But right now, I'm just not running into quite as many decks where I need the Spell Pierce. That being said, against Amulet Titan, Meddling Mage is real good. Because they're not putting a Titan into play off of anything else. It's just casting a Titan. So if you're on the play and you go Giver of Runes into Meddling Mage, the game's probably over. Unless they have like multiple dismembers. Obviously they can still Cultivator Colossus, but that just gives you so much more time to actually kill them that, you know, I'm happy to try it. I haven't actually gotten to try Meddling Mage in a long time, so I'm happy to, you know, give Chris Pikula, sorry I don't have the right art, you know, a spin. But this is kind of where I'm at. This is my thought process. Core Outfitter also plays super nicely with Nahiri, and it gives the deck just a little bit more speed with that 9th equip effect. Sometimes you just go turn 1 hammer, 0 drop, turn 2 Core Outfitter, attach it to a 0 drop, go to town immediately. And so, yeah, this is where we're going to start today. And I'll see y'all in round 1. All right, so we are back for round 1. You know, we lost the die roll, which is not great. I am trying a slightly different setup with my mic as well. So let me know how you think the sound quality is. I checked a little bit beforehand, so it should be good. But hopefully I bump into the mic a little bit less. Okay. Man, any white source or a 0, and this hand is just so absurd. This is definitely a mulligan, but I'm just gonna like do some math in my head. So we have 6 zeros and 15 white sources, 21. We have 1 draw. Now we're gonna throw it back. This hand is not great either. They are on a mull to 6. This hand, yeah, I think we can do better on 5, honestly. Yeah, this this hand's a lot better on 5. So we have Core Outfitter and Paladin. 2 lands. We probably need to keep both lands. Might not need to keep the Giver. We can go turn 1. We can also bottom the Drum here as well. It's probably bottom Drum and Giver. Then any equip off the top is really good. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and hope it works. So we're just gonna turn to Core Outfitter, equip hammer, hope it works. Okay, so I'm just gonna lead. Okay, so it's just straight burn. Okay, so hopefully they just go Eidolon on 1. I am going to fetch for a basic plains here, and I'm just gonna play out this hammer. I do need to remember that Sacred Foundry can't fetch for another one. Burn is definitely a matchup where I'm happy to have the blue because Spell Pierce is really good. Obviously we're down to 2, but I like 2 more than 0. Okay, tap out. Tap out. Oh, okay. So, excuse the train. The train is very loud. So let's think about this. So if I go Hallowed Fountain, Core Outfitter, attached, they kind of have to kill it in response. I go to 11 off of the shock. Then next turn I can play Saga and do nothing. Playing the Core Outfitter now also means that we don't get plinked by an Eidolon. I kind of just like the Urza's Saga here though. That way next turn, because they don't have pressure right now, next turn we can make a construct and go from there. Also, if we find like a fetch land or, you know, an Ink Moth or something, that means that we don't have to take any more damage. Obviously, okay, cool. So they... No fetch is interesting. So they probably have, what's it called? Searing Blaze would be my guess. Okay, so we're going to take one here. Taking one is certainly better than taking more than one. Hope y'all came here for the math. Okay. Don't hate that. So probably just, so they have 3 spells in hand. That's gross. So it's probably just Urza's Saga here. Then we make a construct. They probably kill the construct. Then we can go get Ginger Brute, float a mana, and see what we draw. I kind of like this because we can also just go get a Shadow Spear, keep it really simple. We'll see. But I will not block because I don't want to actually have them use a spell before damage, because that just means we're taking extra damage for no reason. So we'll go ahead and maybe take 1 here. Fine. 1 is okay. So we know they have 3 spells because they didn't play a land. That's a sweet Brothers War, I think. Boros Charm or Lightning Helix. Okay. So we might just be there. I don't think we are. No. Okay. So let's make a construct here. I have a feeling that construct's going to die, but that's okay. So I'm just going to let this go and then probably float a mana here because we can always just make a construct in response if we need to. Okay, so we could go, if we play Shadow Spear here, then we're not going to make a construct, but I think that's okay because we can go Shadow Spear, play an Ornithopter. If they can kill the construct, then they need to do it right then. Yeah, I think getting Shadow Spear is the right play here. Play this out. And I think we attach Shadow Spear to the construct. And if that resolves, then we play Core Outfitter and hopefully win the game. Okay. I mean, I don't think they have anything that does the trick here. Yeah, let's just go Core Outfitter. Actually, I guess Paladin's better, right? Yeah, Paladin's definitely better because we can always move things around if we need to. So if they have Path here, then so be it. But I think we... Oh, okay. Oh, Moto. There we go. So that's not great. We probably win this game if we don't misclick there. But now we're probably just dead. Let my opponent know. Yeah, and we're probably just dead here, I assume. Yep, Searing Blaze and another spell. Yeah, because if they had Path, then so be it. But all right, yep. And I can't imagine we're not dead since they had spells. Yep, that's fine. All right, so we should have had game 1 because they just can't come back if we just hit them for 15 lifelink. But that's Moto. All right, let's go to post board. So post board, Sanctifier's not bad. Wear Tear, don't need that. Spell Pierce is quite good. Path is not bad, and neither is Blacksmith Skill because it protects. Sorry, my dog is being very loud. Because it protects Shadow Spear. Cauldron can be very hard to get out sometimes, so I'm not really high on that. We might want the Core Outfitter, but I'm probably going to cut it. Memnite is pretty terrible because it doesn't even have evasion. I like Esper Sentinel on the play, but not so much the draw, but we're on the play because we made sure to get the play this game. And then we can cut... I don't think we want to cut the Givers. We could cut a Core Outfitter, but I kind of like it. Maybe we don't need all the Blacksmith skills. Maybe just that's fine. We can trim the Core Outfitter because Sanctifier is coming in. And then what else do we want? So we need to trim 3 more cards. We can trim a couple zeros. I think it's fine. And then like the Paradise Mantle maybe. I think I'm fine with that. All right. Let's do the thing. And not misclick through an almost lethal attack, gaining 7 spells worth. Okay, this hand is totally reasonable. We have 2 hammers effectively. And the question is, do we want to play out Ornithopter? I don't think we do, because we're just so... I mean, if we draw exactly Sigarda's Aid, we still can't. So, yeah, no reason. If we were on the draw, then I would play out the Ornithopter, because getting the Ornithopter under an Eidolon's really important. Okay, Goblin Guide. You got it. Okay. All right, I'll take a free land. Still going to probably play this Urza's Saga. Here we go. Ooh, okay. That's not bad. So we can... Man, of course. So we can... Windswept Heath, play Paladin, play Hammer, equip to Ornithopter. Yep. All right, let's do that. Just go get a simple basic plains here. And because I would rather they kill the Ornithopter, I'm going to go ahead and leave that one up to block. There we go. And pass turn. And so I will just block here if they give me the opportunity. Gotcha. What are we getting? Oh, another Windswept Heath. Okay. Yeah, I'll block. If they have a Shatter effect, which they almost definitely do, that's fine. We're still saving 2 life this way. Yep, smash to smithereens. All right. This is not that bad. Sanctifier is pretty nice because we can go Sanctifier, play Stoneforge. Yes, we can play Stoneforge and then tap the Stoneforge to play Sanctifier and crack in for 2. I don't mind that. Go. And let's go ahead and... I think we're just going to get a Shadow Spear because we are in a little bit of danger if they just hold up Deflecting Palm mana. Whereas if we just start Shadow Spearing, just like chipping in for a point or 2 here and there, it puts us in a much more insulated position. But we will see what they do. All right, spike me. So just skewer. That'd be rough. Okay, so they almost definitely have Deflecting Palm. Okay, so first things first, I think we just lead with Shadow Spear here. Let's draw our card. All right, well, we're certainly not short on equippers. I think we go ahead and make the construct right now because this will give us Metalcraft. Okay, go ahead and move this right here. And then the question is, are we chipping in with anything else or just the Stoneforge and the Paladin? Because I don't care about the Paladin at this point, but I think I do have to force action. So we could just attack with the Stoneforge as well. I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate just chipping in with the Stoneforge here. If they just have a pile of interaction, then so be it. But I don't think we can just do nothing when they've gotten us down to 9. All right. So do they have another Smash to Smithereens? Looks like it. Yeah. Oh, Skullcrack. Sure. Okay. So we're probably still dead. But oh, okay. So we can. I don't care about losing the Stoneforge. So we're just going to go ahead and put this on the Sanctifier. If we get to untap, we will likely win the game. If they go for it, then we probably don't win the game. Really wanted to draw a Spell Pierce or a Blacksmith skill. I think at this point we just kind of have to make them have it. But yeah, if we go get a Ginger Brute next turn, we can just use it as a way to gain 3 life, which is a really, really big game. Okay. A Monastery Swift Spear is exactly what we want to see. 2 Swift Spears is exactly what we want to see. What else you got? Okay. So hopefully we just rip a Pierce or a skill. Path is not bad. Path is not bad at all. So I do think I'm still going to... So let's think about this. So if I make a construct, go get a Ginger Brute. Could also just make a construct, play, and grab a hammer. And then we equip the hammer to probably the Sanctifier and put the Shadow Spear on the construct. And then we can path whichever one they try to kill. Yeah, I think I'm cool with that. I guess the other question is, like, how are they winning if we just get a Ginger Brute and potentially go to 9 here? But I also like drawing cards, so I'm probably just going to be greedy here. Because it's not like Ginger Brute is able to just get through. Okay, draw my card. Okay, Searing Place. Okay, sure. Yeah, because now we can't... yeah, this is fine, though. That'll die. We'll just play another Paladin and win the game. Cool. All right. I should have floated mana there, but it does not matter. Sorry, I think this... I don't know. Maybe I'm just having an off day. That's fine. Yes, I would like to draw a card. Okay. It's a little late, but I'll take it. And let's do the thing. Plains right here. And so we put the hammer and the Shadow Spear on the construct. It turns it into a 16/16 lifelink. They have a total of 6, so they take 10, and then the Sanctifier also gets in there. Okay. I don't hate my configuration. I definitely like Esper Sentinel less on the draw. And I think we can bring at least one Ornithopter back and maybe the Blacksmith skill I don't hate. Because the Blacksmith skill protecting a Shadow Spear or something else could be really, really important. This hand is a trap. This hand is great. And I think we're actually bottoming the Paladin here. we could bottom a Sanctifier. I think bottoming a Sanctifier is fine. So they got to keep 7. What a jerk. So we're going to get a basic Plains here, probably. Playing Aid. Yeah, maybe we just keep both Sanctifiers. Yeah, I'm going to put Paladin on the bottom. Weird. What a weird game. Are you going to give me another land? Just a basic Plains off the top? Nope. Spell Pierce is not a bad one. So I'm actually going to just play this Hollowed Fountain. Okay. And so next turn we can play Marsh Flat Sanctifier. And then the following turn, probably Saga Hold Up Pierce maybe. It's pretty close at that point. But we shall see what we draw here. Might also just get another free card or a free card. Okay, there we go. There's a free card. So I know about those two. So they have Light Up the Stage here maybe? So you don't have a creature. Man, I was hoping they would keep a 1-lander here. Okay, so we do kind of get to disguise. And so here, if they attack into the Sanctifier, I'm going to block. If they Skull Crack me, I take 3. And then the Sanctifier trades with the Goblin Guide. I'm super fine with that. You can't just play your Sanctifier and not block. Like you just can't do that. Okay. This is the other reason you can cut a Sanctifier from the sideboard, because just draw them. Just draw them well. I don't understand why people have trouble with this. Okay, just 2 bolts. Yep. All right, this is spooky. Okay. Not my favorite, but so I don't think it's worth. So we have to drop our guard on Spell Pierce if we want to play this Saga and the other Sanctifier. So I think I need to get this Saga into play and then hold up this Pierce. They know about the Pierce, but that's fine. I'm probably just going to cash Spell Pierce in. Okay, yeah, 4. Yeah, I mean, can't just let that happen. Also, we could just draw a Hammer, which I'd be cool with. Shadow Spear would be absolute gasoline. Okay. So they have Deflecting Palm. So they knew about these two. They're both gone. There is a notable difference between being at 7 and being at 6. So I don't really like playing this Marsh Flats, but we can also just play the drum here and then still activate without having to fetch, which I kind of dig. Yeah. So they can't attack us. Yeah. So if we do sneak this one out, we will have won 3-0. It's not looking great though. All right. I didn't really want to draw like the extra 3 lands. I guess 2 of them were free, and I'm gonna do everything I can to not go to 3 here, but I can't really. Okay, I'm gonna go to 3 and probably die. Okay, we also get to take a peek, see if we want to draw what's on top, because if like a Spell Pierce is on top, probably self. I certainly do not want that. All right, am I dead? Yep. Good game. So that is an unfortunate way to start the league, because we should have won the match. I just misclicked through combat. But we will see if we can rally back in round 2. All right, we did win the die roll, which that's much smarter than round 1. And we do have a 7-land hand here, so it's pretty strong. We're gonna throw that one back. This hand is completely fine. We're definitely keeping. And sadly, I think I'm bottoming this Paradise Mantle. Every other card in the hand just kind of does a much more important piece. And because we're just mono white game 1, we can just very cleanly go get our basic planes and play our Esper Sentinel. Next turn, we can play probably Saga Stoneforge. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to start with an attack here. So this could be a billion different decks. All right, so here we have this Sigardizade, so I'm just going to go get a hammer. I'm a very simple man. All right, do I get to draw a card here, or are they just fetching? Whatever they fetch will probably tell us more about the deck. So Murktide is certainly my number 1 suspect, but it could be a lot of different things. Okay, so Rhinos certainly feels Rhinos. Okay, well, they're casting... Okay, this is the other Cascade deck, the Glimpse of Tomorrow deck. Okay, so the good news is we get to hit them for a lot of damage, and we'll see if the aid resolves. That's nice. So they can't have Spell Pierce. They can have Force and Negation, but if they have Force and Negation, they have Force and Negation. It's fine. Okay, they did not. And I think they're F6 tier, so I'm just going to go ahead and cast this, put it on the Sentinel, And we're going to crash in for... All right, so I appreciate that the opponents is like, am I dead? They are not yet, but so that's 11, 12, 13, 14. We could put them to 2, which I don't hate. I'm actually going to do that because now they can't like fetch shock. Yeah, all right. And now even if they like get rid of this Esper Sentinel, we can go get a cookie monster. Oh, boo. Okay, so we're definitely going to also be drawing a card here. It could be really tough for them to get out of this. What did they reveal? Whoa. Okay, so it's less exciting. Yeah, so we can just get a Shadow Spear put on there. So we've seen a bunch of Wave Sifters, Furies. Okay, so... note, this is definitely a matchup where I would love to have Lavinia because she would stop the Furies and I assume probably Force of Vigors. Well, they might actually be too low on green cards, but Meddling Mage does a reasonable impersonation because because they, I don't know, I guess Meddling Mage has been both. Meddling Mage can stop Glimpse of Tomorrow. I'm actually just going to make sure. Yeah, Glimpse of Tomorrow. So I don't remember the name. So Meddling Mage can stop that. If I had Hushbringer, I would like that. But this is actually like the show and tell version, which is just like omniscience and a pile of stuff. So actually might get cheeky with these Wear Tears because they can also kill a couple tokens. Killing an Omniscience for 1 mana is really good. I think probably the better plan is just not let them Omniscience. But we'll see. Blacksmith Skill to protect Meddling Mage. And then Esper Sentinel, not super important, because their spell does a lot more damage. So we'll cut the Esper Sentinels. I kind of like the speed of the Memnites and the Ornithopters, but I could see trimming like 1. Probably just an Ornithopter, honestly, because Memnite does attack for 1 at least. And then Core Outfitter's a nice accelerant. So I think this is what I'm going to do. And then on the play, we might bring in a couple Marches as well, because they're good at killing tokens. It's pretty close. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Could also consider the Nahiris on the play because it might get a lot grindier. What this now? If there's a Saga in this hand, I'm keeping it, but this hand stinks. This hand's like pretty medium. If we draw a hammer, the hand's great, but I mean, can bottom a Blacksmith Skill. I think I'm gonna keep it and bottom a skill. No. We'll bottom. Okay. So we have an Equipper. So I'm definitely keeping this one. And we're going to bottom Blacksmith Skill Thopter probably. Fine with that. And I'm going to hope to draw a land. Okay. That's a nice one. Okay. So I think I'm going to fetch Shock, play Colossus Hammer, play Memnite. I'm just going to play the Memnite because it does get us a clock into play. These chip shots might make the difference. If they want to like Fury here. Okay. So this turn we're almost definitely just going Saga Stoneforge here. We'll just start with an attack for 1. All right. Do you have Force of Vigor now? I don't think they have Force of Vigor in their deck. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead. I think we're just going to get a hammer here. Could also get a Mantle. I think it's actually Mantle because that guarantees we can cast the Paladin next turn. Yeah, because we can play Paradise Mantle, suit it up with the Stoneforge, with the Saga, and then play Paladin, and then we also can crack in for 11. Okay, it's annoying. We will see. Could also just hit a white source here, which would be... okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, there's no way to not deploy this first, so all right. And the nice part about drawing Ornithopter is if they have like Fire for the Memnite in response to the Equip, then we can just play the Ornithopter. So yeah, all right, here we go. Is it like a Brazen Borrower here? Maybe a Colossal Sky Turtle on the Paladin. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right, attack 4, 11. So they could next turn like Fury plus. Okay, yeah, this makes sense to me. And I will play out the Ornithopter because the Ornithopter does actually represent an additional mana with the Pure Steel Paladin. For those who aren't aware, like Paradise Mantle basically makes all of your creatures add 1 mana of any color, as long as Pure Steel Paladin's in play. Notably, against this deck, just getting permanents off the board can be really, really big game because Glimpse of Tomorrow requires them to have just a lot of things going on. Okay. So they are going to get to Glimpse of Tomorrow for 4 permanents. Let's see what they get. Ooh. And sometimes that's what happens with Glimpse of Tomorrow. Oh no. Oh no. So they flipped probably other glimpses, and probably some Force of Vigors. All right. Wow. What a beating, but at least we're getting the full Modern experience. All right. I will see y'all in round 3. All right. We are back for round 3 with a bad hand. So we're going to mulligan this hand. Oh man. I want to keep this hand on such a deep level. We have so many things going on, especially if we find another white source. Oh, no. Sorry. It's been a long day. We can't cast Giver. It's a weird video. Yeah. All right. Keep this hand. Probably bottom 2 lands. I'm cool with that. All right. Surely we'll draw more land. Oh, must my opponents are being so nice. I love it. I love when people exchange pleasantries. Oh, no. I should have known. They're just going to grief combo me. Okay. That's just a Ragavan. This is fine. Okay, so we're just going to play out Espers. We're going to go fetch a basic. Okay, well, that's the prettier one. So if it's stuck in my hand, it's what I'd rather look at. So yeah, we're just going to grab a basic, plains, play Esper Sentinel. That's the other advantage of being in mono white game 1. Even when you aren't sure that you're going to get Blood Mooned, you can just like very safely play under it by using one of our 9 fetch lands. And I'm not going to get the chance to block, so this is fine. This is kind of what I expected. So we'll see what we draw this turn, but there's almost no world where I'm running out the Paladin. Okay, so we do need to figure out if it's scam or if it's just like red-black cards. It doesn't change a lot, but it can change how aggressively we play things out. Oh, come on. Joke's on them. We don't have many spells. Okay. Interestingly, I don't hate playing the Hammer and the Thopter out here. I don't hate it. This also lets us play around the tax. Yes, I will. All right. And so we have a lot of really, really good draws. Obviously, Urza's Saga, as usual, is one of the best draws. Unless they play Blood Moon and then don't draw Urza's Saga deck. A Stoneforge Mystic would be pretty rad. A Memnite would have been much nicer than this Ornithopter, but I just don't think there's a world where I am playing out. Yeah, so we're just going to block here. If they go green source Renin 6, ping the Ornithopter, then so be it. But I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, well, I'm especially glad I played out these hammers. Stupid traitorous Sentinels. So yeah, okay. So I would assume they're gonna cast the Sentinel. Yeah, it's free real estate. If they shock this in, I'm not happy. All right, this is Pyro. Okay, so now there's a world we live. Artifact. Yeah, we can basically pack this in. Ornithopter's gonna gain us another life here. They're gonna hit us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go to 8. So we're not technically dead, but I feel quite dead. If we had hit a hammer that turn, that might be a different conversation, but we did not. Yeah, all right, I'll block one of the 1/1s. Like our line for victory here is they have nothing. That's step 1. Step 1, they have nothing. Step 2, we just like draw a hammer off the top. I don't think we've yeah, because I'd rather they hit a land. Oh my, are you kidding me? This Ragavan keeps hitting the good cards, and I keep drawing the wrong ones. We need to switch this up. Dothy Voidwalker, okay. And I am going to fetch here. I'm going to get a Hollowed Fountain, so they don't know about the Nahiri, but we shall see what we draw. Okay, so because we are definitely dead if they draw anything, I'm just going to play the Paladin first. Okay, yeah, I mean, I can't play around anything. We can try to fade 1 draw step instead of 2. Get a plains, cast a hammer. Okay. I can't imagine. Oh my gosh. What? Am I gonna? No way. There's no way. No. Absolutely no. No shot. This can't block. Is it a shadow? Do they not have like a push or a terminate or anything? Oh, what is happening? This is a really weird night. All right, let's do it. So the protection from your deck card is really good. So what is happening? Yeah, Dothy Voidwalker, you can't block, and for once it was relevant. Wear Tear is a consideration, but we don't know any artifacts that are in their deck, so I'm not going to bother. The Nahiris are great because they let us just grind so hard. This is one of those matchups that I actually really liked her. I like the path. We didn't see any scam pieces. I don't think they're path. So I'm just going to do these 6 because obviously we want Needle for EE. Now what are we cutting? The Ornithopters are bad. Memnite at least blocks Ragavan, which is nice. And because this matchup is so just grindy, you want all your cards to be good. And so I'm definitely going to trim these 5. Now it's a question of what is the 6th card. And it's Core Outfitter for sure. Any matchup where there's a ton of spot removal, usually I like cutting Core Outfitter because one, like curve considerations, we brought in extra 2s and we have some 3s and /4s now. But yeah, I like this one. I have seen a lot of Shieldred's Edict, which is like they can basically guaranteed to kill the Sanctifier. It's still protection from their deck, so I'm gonna keep it. So they're not scam, so I'm much more excited to like mulligan. This hand's like super medium. It's also kind of soft to a Blood Moon, so I'm gonna throw it back. Interestingly, I am gonna keep this, and I'm gonna bottom. Let's bottom the Memnite here. Actually, I'm gonna bottom the Giver because this way, if they have Ragavan, we can go Sentinel plus Memnite and block the stupid monkey. Obviously, we're gonna need to draw some lands, but I don't want to go to 5 against them, and I think this hand is reasonable. We can cast everything but the Paladin, and we don't need to cast. Okay, so they're scam. I'm immediately punished. All right. So if we had seen any part of the scam game 1, I keep my 7 probably. It's probably bad. I'm fine with this. We're just gonna get a basic there, yeah. So and then they take the Paladin with the 2nd probably. Would be my guess. So the good news is they're down to 3 cards. The bad news is we're down to 4. We'll be back up to 5. Sometimes they also just don't have a follow-up, and we can beat a 4-3. Like, we can race that. So we're just going to go Arid Mesa, fetch a basic, Sentinel Memnite. All of that checks out. And so the other reason I like Nahiri a lot is because she does let us come back from that. That's really, really nice. I appreciate that deck. Thank you. If we had a 3rd land on time, then we're actually in really good shape. And if they have Fury, I'm okay with them trading a 2 for 2. If they have Fury plus Rebuy Fury, we're not winning this game. So I'm completely okay with that. And I'm not going to double block the Grief because it's a 4-3, and so I would just be throwing my creatures away. So I'll go to 15 here, and then we'll crack back at them, put them to 16. They might also not have a 2nd land, which would be cool. They did. That's not great for me. Okay, I'll take permanence. All right, well, let's attack for 2. And I do like playing out the Sentinel here. Even though like getting the 8 into play can be really, really good, the Sentinel is very likely to draw at least 1, if not more cards. And of course, we'll play the Saga here. All right, what you got? So they put us to 11. We put them to 13. Play Aid. If we had a land, then we're actually in really, really good shape too. So I'm playing assuming I won't draw a land, which is why I didn't play the Aid. If we draw a land, then I'm pretty happy either way. But because they're not doing anything, I'm pretty happy. Okay, well, we hit a land. Okay, so I will play this. Yeah, I'll play this out. All right, crack in for 3. And I'll probably end of turn make a 4-4. I would love to get a hammer onto a creature, but just making more creatures is so good against this deck. One of the reasons this matchup I think is always at least reasonable is because unless they have Blood Moon, they have so much trouble dealing with an Urza's Saga. Yep, take 4, go to 7. Land, bolt, bolt, bolt. That'd be sweet. Or I guess land, bolt, bolt would do it too with the Marsh Flats. Okay, yeah, let's fetch. Do we have bolt, bolt? All right. I am not going to respect it. Okay. So I don't hate just making a mana or floating a mana, getting Shadow Spear, putting Shadow Spear on. Honestly, like we could also just block the Grief. Yeah, what if What if we make a construct? This is so risky. But I mean, if they have a removal spell, then that's risky too. So I think I'm just gonna make. And I think I'm gonna grab Needle and name Engineered Explosives. Obviously they could Hidetsugu us, but so be it. And so I think here I'm gonna crack in with Construct Sentinel. I think just Construct Sentinel. So this is 7 damage, puts them to 6, and then we have 2 blockers up either way. I like this because I don't think there's a market difference between getting them to like 5 and getting them to 6. And this way I can definitely block if I need to. And so now, of course, any equipment, any non-Cauldron equipment is great. Looks like, yeah, they just got stuck on lands, but the deck's called Scam. Sometimes this is just how it works. Oh, 4. Okay, so do they have Fury here, maybe? I don't know. Hidetsugu consumes all. Okay, no, not Hidetsugu consumes all. Thank goodness. All right, you got it. Necromentia. Don't board this card in against Hammer. Don't do that. I don't know. My opponent's been super nice. That's great, but if they do see this, like, they should know, don't board in Necromentia against Hammer. Against Hammer, you need specifically like powerful things or things that affect the board immediately, and Necromentia is neither of those. Okay, you got it. Yeah, so you get to take one of my Sigardus Aids. What did they exile? Another Grief. That's so many Griefs. 2. Yeah, we had a pair. Hammer. I don't hate it. So if we just crack in with both constructs, they have to block each one, and then they need exactly Bolt to kill us. So I think, yeah, we just attack with both. So I think I actually play Aid here and then attack with both constructs. Yeah, there's no reason to attack with any of those. Those just get eaten. If they want to like multi-block the constructs, I'm happy with that too, because each one of these is lethal threat. And obviously I am dead here to a Fury, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, because they just kill everything and then hit us for 6. And so the question is, do we play this land out? If we play the land out, what is our goal? I don't think we play the land out. The issue, however, is that they don't have much choice in if they can go for it or not, right? Like they can't not attack us with everything. I mean, they can. I was trying to think, if we draw a Nahiri, right, then having this in play is so much better. Also a stone. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it. Opponent, what you got? Their EEs are shut off as well, which is nice. If they play one of, it's like I forget what it's called, like Path of the Fallen or whatever, where it's like 3 mana, you kill everything with CMC 2 or less, all creatures, which I would draw two cards, so we could potentially hit like a Blacksmith skill as well. I think having the extra mana in play without having to shock it in is really relevant here. Okay, I think I'm kind of priced into blocking here. Yeah. Because the constructs are still both lethal threats. Hopefully we find some sort of equipment. We have a lot of equipment we could draw. 4 Stoneforge, 4 hammers. I'll even take a Shadow Spear Shoot. So that's 9 really good draws. I don't hate Nahiri either. Actually wouldn't be super high on Nahiri in this exact spot just because I have the pressure. Sanctifier, of course, would also just be a delight. But we'll see what their plan is. Do they have the path? They can pay. They have more than one. Okay, sure. Do I draw a card? Okay, so that's not that ain't it. What did they name? Colossus Hammer. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. But the issue is that at this point, Shadow Spear is like just as live. All right, what we got? Great. So if we crack in with all 3, they're just dead, right? I guess technically no, but we're not. It's not getting better if we block. So if we attack with all 3, they have like a push for this. We also get to draw a card though. So we send. All right, team. And we're still not dead on the backswing. So, okay. So they have push here. I get to draw a card. They take 1. Maybe I'll just draw Blacksmith skill and end the game. Or another land. All right. So they take 1, go to 2. I'll play this Windswept Heath. And do they hit a removal spell? And I will fetch here because there's no difference between 0 life or 1 life and 2 life here. I'll take a Ginger Brute. That'd be rad. Okay. Yeah. Nothing in their deck deals 2. And let's actually use this at least to make them think that we have blue cards in our deck. So we're not dead. Not being dead's pretty cool. So we can attack. They have to block. Yeah, all right. Can't attack with both, though. All right. You got it. 3, 4, 5. All right, so if they have a removal spell, we're probably dead, but we'll see. Yeah, so a blacksmith skill at any point this game would have been awesome. So I went to 1. Yeah, we did board in the full 4, right? We have 3 in the main. Okay, yeah, so we did board in the extra 1. And I just grabbed the Hallowed Fountain because, 1, if we just drew it naturally, we couldn't, we would die. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, Nahiri would be great here. Get me some value. Of course, if they just have a removal spell, I'm dead, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. All right. And they do have the Seasoned Pyros they can grab, of course, with the pseudo flashback. Okay. We do get to block. It's pretty exciting. Stupid Menace. Okay. Nahiri would actually be super rad. No. Should be okay. We really just want a Shadow Spear here, if we're being completely honest. Or a Gingerbread. Oh my deck. All right, well, we're going to attack. They might give us some additional information. Yeah, I think this is game 2, right? I don't know. Actually, no. We go out on our own terms. That's how we do it. All right. Game 3. I don't think I'm changing anything. Oh, I want the path for sure because we know they're scam now. I'm less excited about this, but I'm fine cutting a Memnite. Yeah, on the play, I'm much more okay going a little bit lower. All right. I do think I just want the drum, though. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for style. She's got so much flair. She's got so many pieces of flair. Yeah, this guy's great. All right. I would like to play first. Man. Can't keep this. This hand is so bad. This hand is so bad. Okay, this hand, totally reasonable. We'll bottom skill Paladin, probably. Or skill Giver, probably, yeah. Okay, so now at least if they discard us. Okay, they mulled to 6. That's nice of them. Yeah, those first hands. First hand, of course, if we have a second land, the hand's insane. Second hand was just so many mana sources. Okay, well, at least we get the Sanctifier online. That's really nice. Yeah, we'll do this. And keep taxing them. And I'm just going to play the Pure Seal out next turn, probably. Because it's not like it's safe in my hand. Unless we find another spell to cast, but it might be correct to just keep the Pure Seal anyway. It's pretty close. I hope I draw Nahiri off the top so I can make the Ragavan attack into the Sanctifier. That's my dream. That's my dream. All right, so Thoughtseize push. Thougtseize, okay. 2 life, 2 mana. Take my Pure Seal, throw it in the trash. Checks out. Yep. Nahiri. All right. Honestly, I don't hate it. And I'm just going to put it on the Sentinel here because now it doubles the tax, of course. I'm not attacking with the Sanctifier because I don't want to throw the Sentinel away blocking the monkey, and I don't want them getting hits off with it. Not yet. In a turn or 2, it's probably fine, but all right. What you got for me? Yeah, obviously mulliganing to 5 against the Thoughtseize deck is not what I would call ideal, but no attacks, bold. All right, Nahiri. Are they going to K-command? Like shatter the Shadow Spear, have me discard a card, and then I draw a card? So I think I'm supposed to just pass here. Yeah. We do have a lot of protection against the Sheoldred's Edict as well, which is cool, because we can just make this a creature. Would you like to pay 2? You probably do. All right, you got it. All right. Opponent, what you got for me? I need a good card. I will block. All right, let's suit it up. Doesn't matter. I was thinking, we should have left the Inkmoth untapped, but it doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. Sure. This is a really weird game, and I kind of love it. Oh, 4 mana. What on earth? It's got to be like K command plus pay tax, right? I have no idea what else it would be. K command. Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's like nothing makes sense if it's not K command here. All right. Yep. Okay. I will continue to pass the turn. What is happening? What is happening? All right. What do we got? No attacks, I'm sure. Yep. All right. Okay. I don't hate that one, weirdly. I'm not excited about it, but I don't hate it. Yeah, Nahiri is really what we want to see at this point. She'd be great. She'd start just drawing additional cards each turn. Fury evoked. okay. I don't think this is going to work out how they think it's going to work out, because if it's an Undying effect, then it will just get exiled as a replacement effect from the Sanctifier. Oh no. Oh no, opponent. You're really nice. I'm sorry to see this happen. Yeah, because it specifically says when this card goes to the graveyard. Like, dies means goes to the graveyard, but does not work. Okay, yep. I respect that. If I'm like, I done goofed. All right, so honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna start getting in with the Ink Moth. Why not? I probably should have. Without the blacksmith skill, it's a little sketchier. One, in fact. I will likely fetch here for a plains. Yeah, because thinning is not really a thing usually, but at this point, every bit helps. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's a real card. Get in there, Inky. Yeah, I'm just holding the Sanctifier back because one of the ways I can certainly lose this game is if they like start getting advantage off of the Ragavan and then start deploying multiple threats and things like that. So if they Path of Peril, I get to blacksmith skill the Sanctifier, which is really nice. Seasoned Pyro is pretty good. It is nice that it won't die at least. Okay, would they discard Ragavan? I missed something. Must have been Ragavan in a land or something. Or they just have one card. I can't count. Counting, I have my fingers and toes that get me to 20, so I can never attack with more than 2 hammers. But, you know, I do my best. I'm out here. I'm like, am I gonna go for an Ink Moth? So I don't think I'm attacking with Ink Moth. We can attack with Ink Moth, make a construct, and then we have skill up. Yeah, we can attack with Ink Moth. If they Wrath and we just protect the Sanctifier, that's fine. Okay. I was gonna be very surprised if they we also have coverage against Sheoldred's Edict by animating the Ink Moth, which is really nice. Looks like an Edict. Could be an EE for 2 as well. You got it. This is why Blacksmith Skill is the best card, because they're going to spend 4 mana to try to kill the Sanctifier, and I will say, no siree, Bob. It's like, no, leave this poor woman alone. She's just out here sanctifying things. All right, they can kill this if they want. That's fine. But, ooh, okay, so we're going to make a construct for sure. And then what are we doing from there? I think we're probably just getting a Shadow Spear. I don't think we need to leave the Ink Moth up. Yeah. Also get a Drum. Oh, we get a Needle and name EE for sure. Oh, and Shadow Spear's in the yard anyway, so. It's been a really long game. I hope y'all are enjoying this night where I'm just out of it, apparently. Yeah. We'll go ahead, name Engineered Explosives anyway. I would consider naming Seasoned Pyro, by the way, except that Seasoned Pyro will get exiled by the Sanctifier. Okay, so I'll crack in for 3. If they like double block or something, I'll just go ahead and animate the Ink Moth. Okay, yeah, we'll stack it like that, and then animate. Okay, and that's the match. All right, so I really wish Nahiri would have showed up, but anyway, yeah, pretty weird match. I'll see y'all in round, 4? Yeah. All right, here we are back for round 4. I would like to play first against Average Joe 40. All right, I'll throw out the kind words today. Be that change you want to see in the world. All right, I'm immediately rewarded. So Gigantha, it could be a lot of different things. My guess is a prowessy deck, but I'm not gonna keep solely based off that. So I'm going to keep, and so we could be very ambitious and go like Colossus Hammer, Ornithopter, and then Paladin the next turn. But I think I'm just gonna play the Giver here. Plains, give me a Giver, and yeah, I don't think there's a lot of reason to play out the Ornithopter here. Not this turn anyway. Tron, we're gonna find out. This is just there's no way it's Tron, right? They don't keep Forest on in their 7. Okay, I don't know what's happening anymore. Oh, it's Semblance Tron. Okay. So I haven't actually played against this deck. I think Spike popularized it, just like every other deck in the modern format, except for like Hammer and Murktide, which were, yeah. All right, so when it enters battlefield, you may exile a non-land from your hand, and then everything costs 2 less. Okay. So we can go Inkmoth, Stoneforge. Trying to think. So if we go Inkmoth, Stoneforge, and Ornithopter, and go get like a Paradise Mantle, we can play Pure Steel next turn, play Paradise Mantle, draw a card, and then 1, 2, 3 mana. That would be, so yeah, we go Inkmoth, Stoneforge. Mental math is hard. Inkmoth, Stoneforge this turn, plus Ornithopter. And then and then we grab Paradise Mantle. With Paradise Mantle, we then next turn play Paladin off of Plains, play Paradise Mantle, use the mantle to equip to the Giver. That's 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana. That's more than enough. Okay. And then kill them with the Inkmoth. All right, Paradise Mantle. I don't know what cards are in my opponent's deck, but I do know trying to kill them on turn 3. Yeah, we don't need to get in for a point here. If they have interaction, this is pretty rough, but oh, did I screw this up? Yeah, we're gonna be 1 artifact short potentially, but I don't think we could have killed them any other way. So if we hit like a Memnite or another 0, then we're in business. It doesn't look like a super fast hand from them either. And we do have 2 draws at the 0. Okay. Does that do it? We can go Plains, Aid, Paradise Mantle now is free, Plains, Aid, Plains, and then Animate, Attack, Flash in, do this now. Yes, I will. And we have Protection up. Rad. Okay, Paradise Mantle, doing some work. Love to see it. All right, turn 3 kill. When you don't know what your opponent's doing, just try to kill him on turn 3. Okay, so Wear Tear seems really good. March seems pretty good. I don't know. Spell Pierce, I'm like pretty medium on. Meddling Mage, if we can name exactly Semblance Anvil. I don't know how this deck works. We're just going to try our best. We're just going to try our best here. I don't know about that, but I do like these 4 for sure. I'll start there. I think this is a matchup where we want to be a little bit faster, so I like the Core Outfitter. Ordinarily, I would cut Esper Sentinel, but I feel like it's probably pretty good. I think Giver is probably not where we want to be. And then we can probably trim like a couple Memnites because they probably have little dudes on the ground to block. Could play a Needle. I'm curious how much interaction they will actually have. They potentially have enough green sources for Force of Vigor, or enough green cards, but then they have to board out. They have to not use Gigantha, which is probably fine. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this. Keep it pretty lean. Keep it super aggressive. When you don't know what's going on with your opponent's deck exactly, being more aggressive, it tends to be kind of the direction you want to go. Gigantha. Okay, so definitely no Force of Vigor, which is nice. And I like this hand. It's not bad. So we can turn 3 Cauldra. It's actually not that great. I think we can do a little bit better. This is better for sure. We can bottom this 3rd Paladin. Yeah, just turn 1 Esper Sentinel real easy. Yeah. Glad we threw that one back. I think that first hand was fine, but we're against a stinking Tron deck, so not. And I don't think I boarded in any blue or red spells. Nope. Okay, so we can just go get a Plains here. Pretty easy peasy. Oh, we definitely brought in Wear Tear. Told y'all it's gonna be that kind of video. Usually I try to be real sharp on these videos, but not today. Hopefully we don't draw exactly Wear Tear and get super punished for it. All right, Ichor Wellspring, you got it. I will draw a card, please. Oh, all right. Well, okay. I'm gonna hit the opponent for 10 points of damage here. I think that is a good plan. I'm gonna click. The drawing the Shadow Spear was absurd there. Yeah, so I figured they might not have enough green cards to play Force of Vigor. So that's, and I think I said that, but that's kind of why I wasn't as worried about it, and I didn't need as many blacksmith skills. I like a couple, but okay, and we won. Sweet. All right, and let's see if we can rally back from that first embarrassing round where we almost 3-0'd, and kind of go from there. I'll see y'all in round 5. All right, and we are back for round 5. We are on the draw, but this hand is quite good, so I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, we have 3 equippers, 1 hammer, and hopefully they don't disrupt that, so I will keep. Okay, they mulled a 5, so it's looking more promising, but who knows? London Mulligan's a powerful thing. Okay, and let's see what they got for us. Okay. Turn 1 monkey. All right. Can I get a Memnite? It's not a bad one. So unfortunately, they are going to connect with this monkey, but they're then going to have to hold up interaction for the rest of the game, which might not be too hard with the monkey, but they are low on cards, so we'll see what happens. Esper Sentinel's a good hit there. I wish I had drawn that instead of the ink. Okay, all right, let's see if they have a counter spell. They did not have a counter spell currently, so like 1000% getting a Colossus Hammer, and at least they can't currently attack with the Sentinel. They're probably just gonna kill the Stoneforge end of turn. Okay, or not. Yeah, there we go. All right, so they are down to 2 cards, which is nice. Hopefully, yeah, we can just 6 here. Luckily, we do have ways to pressure. Like we can deploy the Pure Steel. We can force them to like keep having answers. Play Stoneforge. Do it. These Ragavans have been hitting really well. Okay, so Expressive Iteration. That's a good way for them to get back into the game for sure. Counter Spell is not what you want to see there. Okay, that's pretty nice, honestly. So I think I like fetch, play Paladin, play Ornithopter, or we could just like or we could Windswept Heath, Ornithopter, hammer off of the Ink Moth, and then skill. I'm cool with that. And I guess we play out the land in case they have Spell Pierce, because that'd be pretty embarrassing. Yeah, so go ahead and hammer right. I don't want to let them draw a card, but I think I'm supposed to, because I will not. Because if they have Spell Pierce, it's just so bad to lose it like that. That's really cool. There it is. Yep. Okay. And that's why we did it like this. Yes, I will. All right, what you got for me, opponent? What do we have? Exiled, Stoneforge Mystic, and the Sentinel, of course, was hit. So those were 2 good hits. Their Expressive Iteration was not a good hit, though. They hit like 3 spells when they really needed a land. Okay, Consider's fine. If it's not Archmage Charm, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, so we currently control 3 artifacts as well. Okay, and I will go ahead and fetch here. And I'm not worried about getting Blood Mooned, but I would rather just not. There's no reason to be that greedy, right? So I'm going to play the Paladin out, see if it resolves. Okay, Counterspell, you got it. So the question is, do we attack for 10? I feel like the answer is actually no. So if we attack for 10, they can also just chump, and then they can Ragavan hit us. I don't think we attack for 10 here. Yeah. They just, especially game 1, have so few ways of getting rid of like a 10-12. They do have 4 card types, so if they have the other 2 Unholy Heats, then they can do it. Of course, Brazen Borrower, Otawara, those are all options as well. But, okay, Shredder, sure. Yep, pretty good. But now we definitely get to stick this Pure Steel Paladin, and so now we can like freely attack for 10, play Paladin, move Hammer. You can also just like draw Shadow Spear. Be cool with that too. They bend to Ragavan. Yeah, that card's not impressive here. Bobble, you got it. Man, I wish I had that Esper Sentinel. Can you imagine how different this game is if I just get to go Sentinel on turn 1? Might actually, the joke is it might actually be worse for me, because that means that I can't, I might not get to resolve the 8. Okay, well, I'll attack for 10. Are we blocking? I hope they just block with, oh, yes. Because now the Thopter actually gets to stick around too. Okay. And we'll go ahead and animate itself, move the hammer here. I could have moved it to the Ink Moth first for style points, but I think I'd rather just do this. And so we move that for a couple reasons. The big one is now they really can't kill the Paladin, but secondly, the other reason is like they can't Archmage Charm something that costs 2. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm not going that deep. All right, so any equipment off the top is great, of course. We'll see. They can't really attack with the bird either, because then we can animate Ink Moth, equip, and animate again. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, the opponent is in the tank, reasonably so. Like, even Murktide's not that scary here, because if they just have Murktide with no like removal spell, then the Ornithopter can just cleanly block it. Obviously, the Ornithopter dies. Makes it really hard to win that race. Okay, so they've got to have a removal spell, right? They've got to. Okay, I don't hate that either. Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, so it just resolves. Let's go ahead and I think just get another hammer here. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a difference between flashing it in now. Because they have to block here unless they have a removal spell, and then they kind of still have to, right? We do this now. So they almost definitely have Otawara is the thing that concerns me. So I think I'm just going to attack with this Paladin. And so they're probably going to Otawara the Colossus Hammer. They can't do that. Okay. And I'm fine just passing here. Oh, okay. So this is one of those things where Sigardizade really does kind of change how both players have to interact, because if I don't have Sigardizade in play, then I have to just like get blown out by their Brazen Bar or whatever they have. The other nice piece is now if I get to untap, I get to just put Cauldron into play. They don't know that, but let's see. Okay, cool. So we don't know their exact configuration, so I kind of don't like Spell Pierce that much. Sanctifier, very good. Obviously, it makes it a little bit harder to Murktide. It, it has protection from basically all their removal. I like Needle because it stops engineered explosives. I like Path to Exile because I like having like one piece of interaction for a Murktide. And so definitely these 5. And I don't know about Nahiri on the draw. I definitely like her on the play. I like cutting all the Ornithopters for sure. I like cutting the Core Outfitter. And I like cutting at least the Drum. And then I think that's probably all I want to trim. So we can just bring in like one Nahiri on the draw. And then bring in probably the other one on the play. All right. Paradise Mantle. Yeah. All right. I also like the Paradise Mantle doesn't get swept up by an EE for 1. So there is also a consideration for like 1 Wear Tear because it can kill a Blood Moon for just a single white. Wow. Okay. This hand. Whew. Spicy. Really bad against a Blood Moon, but I'm okay with that because it's really good against everything else, I think. We're going to find out. So very likely to play 8 on 1. It's either 8 or Drum because those are the things that cost 1 mana. I know. Really breaking some new ground, but it also depends on what they do. If they tap out, I will definitely deploy the Aid because I think just getting the Aid into play is really, really important. But getting the Drum into play can make a huge difference in terms of just my mana over the next few turns. So it's pretty close. We'll see what they do though. It is very hard to turn down getting a Sigardizade Aid into play, guaranteed. It's pretty close. Okay, I'm definitely keeping. So they mulligan to 6. And we have seen this league, and I'll recap this, but I have liked how many zeros we've had. It has been nice to have that little bit of extra speed, little bit of slightly more reliable Metalcraft, things like that. But yeah, unfortunately, fortunately, we did not play against Titan. But because obviously we wanted to see how that match goes. But, this is also the reason why you don't yes, Titan's obviously just got a lot better. It's a very powerful deck, but usually in Modern, kind of no matter what's going on, it's hard for one deck to be so too much of a metagame. Okay, so Plains, especially with one that has a skill cap as high as that deck. So I think we're just gonna go Drum here. I like Drum because that means if we stick any sort of creature, we get to double spell, and double spelling is a really good way to get super ahead in this matchup, or most matchups. All right, so they're connecting with Monkey, which is not my favorite thing, but they got a Marsh Flats, which I'm cool with that. Are they going to Blood Moon us here? Too sad about that because their mana base would be wrecked. So I will probably just play Urza Saga Stoneforge Mystic here. All right. Okay, looks like a counterspell. Spell Snare. Okay, sure. So interestingly, next turn we can also just play make a construct and then also play Sigardizade, which sets up multiple threats. I kind of like it. So no land pre-combat. They hitting Sigardizade. All right, and so we're just gonna have to start running things out. I think Expressive Iteration's pretty good. They mulliganed, but this undoes that. And Spell Snare is a very good card in this matchup. Obviously, it has its limitation, but it is, I think, quite good. Opponent, what you got for me? So next turn, they're bobbling themselves to see if they want to fetch. Question is, are we blocking? I don't think we're even blocking Monkey at this point. They have so much mana, who cares? That's kind of where I'm at. So if they play a Murktide here, that's kind of scary. But, I mean, not much to be done, right? They had Monkey into Spell Snare, Expressive Iteration. It's really good. And so the question is, how do we want to sequence out these next turns? And I think we probably do want to just make a dude and play Sigardizade, depending on how aggressively they go here. All right. Okay, that was a really nice pickup because now we don't actually have to make our guy during our turn. I will start with a Mem Knight. Could also play Sanctifier and Aid here. We could bait with an Aid. Yeah. Yep, start there. Okay. Well. Probably just Saga here, honestly. Because we do have double white, so yeah. I also like that we likely will have the ability to have Metalcraft, even if they like address the creature I hammer, which is probably just the Mem Knight. Like I said, I don't think I care if Rakavan hits me at this point. he's done his work. Yeah, we're like almost 1000% getting a hammer here. Yeah, probably just go to... It also unlocks Rakavans that are in their hand. Yeah, I think we just go to 13 here. Give him another treasure. Like, who cares? Yeah. Do you want to play an Esper Sound? It wouldn't be bad. Like, there's just not a big difference between 6 and 7 mana, and I'd rather just keep the artifact count at a certain point. One of the cards I'm certainly most scared of here is Dress Down. And so the question is, do you want to play around Dress Down? How badly? They haven't done anything, so their hand has to just be reactive pieces, or they would have already dragoned. Like there's no way they don't just play out, you know, a 5/5 dragon and start clocking me, or at least I assume they wouldn't not play out the dragon. So yeah, I mean, I think playing the Sentinel here is fine. So I'll make a construct that'll be a 3/3, and then we'll just get to float mana and get a hammer. Yeah. Probably put it on the Mem Knight. Okay, Expressive Iteration. Interesting. Makes sense. You have plenty of mana. Let's do the thing. Lightning Bolt is a powerful card for sure. Just says until end of turn. Oh, just this turn. Okay. Sentinel, you got it. Are we using the Lightning Bolt? Is my question. If they use the Lightning Bolt, that's tapping a little bit low. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. End of turn. I'll make a dude. They probably bolt it, and then we go from there. But I'm not making it. Man, how sweet would Paradise Mantle be here? Just like blow them out. Okay, so float mana for sure. So we'll stack it like that. That's fine. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I don't hate just getting a hammer here. Hammer, put it on the Mem Knight. Yep. Okay. Mem Knight down. And then we can make a construct. We'll be shy of equipping with the Paladin. So I think we're just playing a Sanctifier here. Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Play that. This is nice because it makes their Murktides a lot softer if it resolves. Okay, resolved. And of course it can actually block Ragavan, which is nice. And yeah, let's just make a construct now. And of course this sets up another turn where a hammer's coming down onto a Sanctifier. What's your plan? So yeah, I like when you can stacking multiple turns in a row where, okay, this turn I'm presenting, you know, not necessarily a lethal, but like a very powerful threat. And then the following turn, planning your turn where it is hard to disrupt your next hammered threat or, you know, giant construct, whatever, can be one of the best ways to kind of claw back in. Because they started off like what felt like super far ahead. And I did give up one construct, I think, by how I sequenced my lands. Yeah. But doing so meant I was able to deploy like threat after threat. And it also means that I don't get blown out quite as hard by Dress Down, which getting blown out by Dress Down sucks. Hopefully we just like draw a hammer too. That would be rad. They do have 4 cards in hand, but their Murktide would be a 4/4, which is not what I would call impressive. If we hit a colored source, then we can also play Paladin next turn with Metalcraft up, because I'm definitely putting the hammer that comes out of the aid on the Sanctifier Invec, because Sanctifier Invec is the hardest one to kill. It is also a consideration to just get the Shadow Spear, but my concern is that they will be able to Dress Down, kill it, and then I'm just not doing that much. But we'll see. We'll see what we draw. Because if we make a construct, I'm trying to think, if we make a construct with our land, and then, it'll be a 4/4 if that resolves. And if they bolt it before it resolves, then that's fine because we just like throw it on the Sanctifier. It is certainly worse against the Dress Down, but I think Dress Down's going to kind of blow us out no matter which way we do this. I'm just going to like hardcast Fury. That would be pretty good as well. We'll see. Opponent is in the tank. Can't give me this much time to think, opponent. I don't like it. Okay, so for 2, sure. Okay. Not shocking. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we didn't hit a white source, but So like what we can do is we can make a construct, or we could just float mana. So actually, I don't think floating mana is correct. I think I just pass priority, because if I pass priority, I can go grab a needle. The needle will name EE, and then I can strap up, and then I can play Paladin, strap up the hammer onto the Sanctifier, and go to town. Pass priority, because now if they want to pop it, they have to pop it now. Okay. Yeah. Let's go mantle here, or needle. Yeah. And engineered explosives. And let's go ahead and play that out for sure. And if they have a counter spell, then they have a counter spell. I'm just going to run it. They almost definitely do. Okay, sure. All right, let's put that there. Yeah, and so the reason I didn't float mana was because if I float the mana, then I don't get to make a construct if they choose to pop the EE. All right, yeah, I mean, I'll attack. I think I'm just attacking with both, honestly, at this point. Because keep in mind, we do have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 4 artifacts. We can make a 5th. Okay, that checks out. We're just taking 4. Are we taking 4, or like, do we want to deal 4 to them or 5 to them? I feel like we want to deal Vexmas skill so bad. All right. I'm just letting damage happen. If we're letting damage happen, I'm probably putting the hammer onto the paladin, or I'm going to try. Yeah, so they kill the paladin in response. That checks out. Okay, so they get 1 hit with the monkey if they really want. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any mana up, so I also get to F6. That's hot. Ooh, what you got? What you got? Is it a Murktide? Yeah, you can't activate EE. Brotherhood's End. Gross. Super gross. But it did clear the EE, which is nice. All right. Oh, actually, like, honestly, it's fine at this point. Okay, let's play this one out, see if it sticks. I'm trying to think if there's a reason to play out the Ink Moth. I don't think there is. I mean, I'm just gonna hold it. We can represent a hammer this way. Okay, I will take a Urza Saga, a Stoneforge, a hammer. Take any of those. What's on top? What's on top, opponent? Is it good? Yes, I am that person who asks if it's a good one. Oh, it's really good. Okay. I think I just crack in for 4 here. Yeah, just put them on a 2-turn clock. And we get to block with Ink Moth if we really want to, but I don't think we do. How many bolts have they used? They've used 2. Okay, so we cannot get bolted. That's fine. I think I'd rather keep the Ink Moths around to pump the Saga anyway, the Saga constructs. Man, that's a good card. Yeah. There are not a lot of cards they can get off the top that are good, but that was one of them for sure. So like a dress down into double removal spell. Murktide Regent, okay. That's the other reason I like keeping the Ink Moth around. Okay. I guess they can give pro colorless if they want. So we can put them to 1 here if we attack with both. They block 1 with the Regent. And then we can play out the Memnite and the Ink Moth. We can then make a construct. I don't hate this. Yeah, just put them to 1. They get to block 1. That's fine. Memnite, let's go. Yeah, so we can't animate both and make the construct. Okay, Shredder. That's a second blocker. Don't like that. Ooh, okay. Sure. Make a construct. Okay, you got it. Okay. It's not really what I want to see. None of them have haste though, so I can go get my Ginger Brute. Yes. All right, do you have a removal spell, opponent? Does Cookie get there? Does Cookie get there off the top rope? Yeah, all right. Let's do this now, so I can't possibly mess it up. Cookie! Cookie off the top! Woo! All right, so it is disappointing that we misclick punted our first match, because this could have been a 5-0, but I will take a 4-1 any day of the week. I will see y'all in the wrap up. Cool. All right, so here we are for the wrap up. So a couple of things I wanted to touch base on. The mana base is definitely more painful than it maybe has to be. I like my mana base to be really, really good. So having all the fetches to like very easily get my planes. So like in the first couple turns, we effectively, so like before the Blood Moon comes down, right, we have effectively 12 basic planes because we have the 3 planes and then we have the 9 fetches. Right now, I'm not worried like at all about getting Boseiju locked and with Renaissance of Force. So I'm fine with it. If you wanted to, you could absolutely cut like one of the Hallowed Fountains for, something else. It is nice that Nahiri is good against the Blood Moon deck, so you're bringing her in. So if they Blood Moon you, you might just cast Nahiri off of like Inkmoth Nexus for the red source. You'll have to take my word that Nahiri's good. Obviously, we didn't see her there. I might have to just record some games that she's done well in and then go from there. But Meddling Mage did a reasonable impression of Lavinia if we had drawn him. He's also really, really good against Amulet Titan if you get to stick him. And yeah, so I think right now the blue is good hate against Amulet Titan. And so if you're playing blue, you might as well play Spell Pierce because that card is great. I'm fine with the 2 Sanctifiers right now because I think Scam's a little less popular than it was. It might pick back up because of Amulet, but I will say Nahiri is very similar against Scam in terms of like it can grind out value and kind of go from there. It's attacking on a different axis, which I really like. But other than that, we saw kind of the value of having the extra zeros. It let us go a little bit faster. The extra Ragavan blockers are pretty nice too. So, you know, right now I kind of like more zeros. But if you wanted, this could absolutely be like a Steel Shaper's Gift or something else. I don't like 2 core outfitters, but 1 has been pretty nice. I mean, I'm really happy with the list. I'm happy with no fair equipment right now because especially like, so it feels like in a lot of ways the format has gotten faster because, you know, a lot of Amulet Titan, and then we've seen other pretty fast combo decks. There's the Toxic Rot Priest or whatever. That's much faster. And so just having your plan A be Hammer, plan B be Saga, and then plan C be Kaldra, like these are just much more powerful, much more impactful equipment than you can get with your Nettlecysts or your Sword of Fire and Ice. I mean, we all know how I feel about Sword of Fire and Ice in Modern in 2023. But you could also, I would ideally like to have like 1 fewer skill in the main and then have it in the board, but I don't think that there's a lot of ways to kind of make that room because Blacksmith Skill is the most versatile of those sideboard cards, and it's the card I'm most fine with having in the main. You could reasonably also move this to the sideboard and then just bring in the Pithing Needle. I don't hate that because it does add artifact. Most decks it will do something against, but Blacksmith Skill is just a good card. Sometimes it's bad giant growth, but I'll take it. But yeah, other than that, really like the configuration. I like being mono white game 1. I think blue is good right now, primarily because the hate pieces are pretty good. And then I think Nahiri is worth the splash, especially since you can go a little lighter on the splash since you don't need red until turn at least 2 or 3, usually turn like 4 because that's when you want to deploy her. I think Wear Tear is also super good. It's also, like I haven't gotten to play it in the mirror, but it's got to just be absolutely cracked in the mirror. But yeah, other than that, I really like it. You know, let me know what y'all think. There's also, you know, Naya configurations. There's just red white you could play. But yeah, anyway, you know, let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.